Hey, today we're talking intermittent fasting, weights versus cardio, and is it finally safe to come back to Avenu? So as we get into episode number 6, real quickly before we continue on, since we're now in kind of this two-hand number on this one, I want to see if this is actually resonating with people here on this one. Can you, wherever you're watching this at, social media, on YouTube, wherever it might be, can you drop a comment below? Just give me your favorite emoji. I love emojis just because I think it's a little bit more picturesque in my mind, but give me an emoji down below as long as you don't give me the poop emoji, and let us know that you're paying attention and you're watching. So here we go. Intermittent fasting is actually pretty interesting when you think about it. If you go back to your childhood days, you probably had 3 square meals a day. You probably had dinner. You didn't have anything after dinner until the next morning at breakfast time. That was pretty much a 12-hour fast. You usually had dinner around 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock, and then you did not eat again until the next morning when you woke up for breakfast to go to school. So we've been doing intermittent fasting all along. We just now have a cool name, and celebrities are talking about it on TV, so everybody now thinks it's the coolest thing to do. Now, mind you, everybody is not the same. Everybody is going to be a little bit differently. So the easiest way to ease into the intermittent fasting is to try that 12-hour fast. So from dinner till the next morning at breakfast, 12 hours later, if you can, just don't eat anything, all right? That includes drinking wine and alcohol and ranch water, whatever it is that you want to call it to try to justify for yourself. Make sure you just abstain from it and stay away from it all. On the flip side, some of you do a little bit better extending that window. Some people can go for what they call the 16-8. That means that where you're not eating for 16 hours, but yet you eat in a window of 8 hours. And then some people go on and on and on, and they fast 2 days a week, and then they eat the rest of the day. So don't get too complicated. Right now, just start with a simple 12-hour fast, going from dinner to breakfast the next morning. Just see how you feel. If you can make it without becoming a ravenous pig at things there, I think one of those things that you can start to understand, you go, okay, I'm eating in a way that sustains me through the night. But if you're waking up in the middle of the night and you're hungry and you're searching and you're raiding the cabinets and stuff there, know that what you had for dinner and probably what you had for lunch probably isn't sitting that well in your stomach and isn't the healthiest thing for you to continuously keep eating. It's like the chicken or the egg comment here is like, okay, which comes first there, the cardio or the weights or the cardios? Who knows? I'm not here to debate that with you right now because we could probably spend a lot of time into it. But what I wanted to say to you right now is if you're not doing anything, start with something that you enjoy, all right? So if it's walking, if it's running, if it's spinning, go for it. If it's going to the gym and lifting weights at the gym, go for it. If it's doing yoga, Pilates, whatever it is, you've just got to make that a habit. Try to get in the habit of like 3 or 4 days a week. That would be pretty much kind of like that prime spot to say, okay, you know what? Now that I'm in the habit of doing this, let's look to add in the second component of it. So again, if you're going to the gym first, then you want to add the cardiovascular work on the outside of it. Let yourself get into that habit of going to the gym, then add in the cardiovascular work, or vice versa. Now, if you really want to get super technical with it and you're blowing and going with it, and you run probably 4 or 5 days a week, and you're only lifting maybe 1 or 2 days a week, I would probably suggest that you substitute 1 day in there of the cardiovascular work for 1 more day at the gym. It's almost this 3 and 3, maybe if you will, maybe it's a 4 and a 2, but I would say is almost as if you can get to where you're doing 3 days of cardiovascular work, or intervals is what we like to call it, with mixed in with going to the gym. That would probably be the best I think kind of routine that you could possibly have. Is it safe to come back to Avenu? I would say 100% yes. Would I feel comfortable bringing my family to the gym to have them work out? I say yes even more, because over my shoulder is my wife, who has been here with me throughout this entire time. And she is here along with our whole entire team that we have the mask on the entire time. Every single client has their mask on the entire time. Now, some of you might have seen the CDC report that came out here last week or so, and it said, hey, you know what, gyms are super spreaders. The 2 cases that they're referencing are people that went to the gym. The instructors did not have a mask on, nor did the participants have mask on either, and it spread like a wildfire through there. But here at Avenu, we require masks throughout the entire time from when you come in to when you exit. You're working out with it on. It's not, do we deem it safe or not safe? We all have it on, all right? And if it's uncomfortable, we just work at a little bit of a slower intensity to make sure that you feel comfortable going through your workout. A lot of you are also now getting your first and second shots and your vaccinations, and you're saying, hey, can I come in now and I don't have to train without my mask? That's one of those things where you're like, hey, if you go back to elementary school and you say little Johnny can run around in the back all by himself, but the rest of you have to sit down here and sit still, I don't think that would fly very well with the rest of you in the class. So what we're asking here is just hang on just for a little bit longer. When that is, we're not quite sure yet, but once we get to that point that we feel comfortable that enough of us have reached kind of that vaccinated standpoint and that we can take the mask off, and we feel it is safe to do so, not just for you, but for everybody that's walking in these doors, that we'll make that recommendation that you can come in and take your mask off if you would like. But as of right now, everybody's wearing masks. You can feel 1,000% comfortable with it because we've had over 12,000 in-person sessions here at Avenu since June 1st reopening, to people coming in the doors, and we have yet to have one case of the COVID here at Avenu. All right, so that's it. Episode 6 is in the books here for Ask Avenu, but I want to encourage you there, as you heard in the beginning, make a emoji comment down below there. We're seeing if you're actually paying attention to these, and if we can kind of like garner some response from you. But if you don't feel comfortable with the emoji, drop your question down below too as well. And if you're feeling the love from this and you're feeling like this is the best thing that's floating around on the internet and all social media, hit the share button too as well. Let your friends, let your family know, let your coworkers know that they can get their answers, their fitness and health and whatever fat loss type questions answered for free just by simply sending in their questions to me or commenting down below. Until next time, you keep asking the questions and we'll keep answering them.